Hello and let me welcome you to the Weep Chamber. Kingdom Hearts 2 is a game that presumably has influenced my life the most. I started playing it when I was 6 years old and have played every Kingdom Hearts game since then. And one character that I honestly think is incredibly written throughout the series and delivers a story that is worth calling to be one of the best in video games is Roxas. Now I want you to imagine yourself in the unbelievably big shoes of Roxas, because whether you like Kingdom Hearts or not, I think the journey of this character will transcend your heart into darkness. So imagine you were born as a nobody, a being that doesn't feel feelings at all. You wake up in a world you don't know about, only with snippets of memories that aren't even yours to begin with. Before you can even really form a thought about the situation, a hooded figure appears seemingly out of nowhere. He gives you a name, a purpose, and a sense of being since he's the first person you can have a conversation with. This is actually a really good cutscene, showing us how Xemnas, the leader of the organization that is formed of nobodies, beings such as Roxas, recruits the multiple members. I mean, imagine being thrown into the world with no sense of self and then a man is coming to you and giving you a name. Of course you would go with that guy. Shortly after that, you're being introduced to the Organization 13, and this is where the psychological manipulation hits its peak. In a short amount of time, you're going from not knowing who you are or what your purpose is, to getting a name and a home. Even more than that. You get to know people who share the same destiny as you get to train with them, you go on missions with them, and you all pursue the same goal as a group, to make Kingdom Hearts. Because Xemnas has this propaganda thing going on, telling everyone that they can have feelings again as soon as they obtain their own heart with the help of Kingdom Hearts. Roxas gains trust in the organization after the training with all of the members, and he also befriends one of them called Axel. Through befriending Axel, he gains a moral compass since the organization and Xemnas just speak to Roxas as an authorial figure. Axel is someone who he can talk to on the same level, which lets his ability to feel feelings again grow over time. This is something that I really like about this whole story arc. We first see Roxas as an unstable being with no sense of self, slowly evolving to have feelings like a normal human just by encountering those feelings in certain scenarios. I don't want to exaggerate, but this reminds me of Meruem from Hunter x Hunter, who is also a character that was born with a borrowed human identity, which grows over the course of the show. So now after some time passes and Roxas becomes comfortable with his routine in the organization, we get introduced to Xion, who befriends Roxas and Axel, so that the iconic trio is finally complete. Xion is just like Roxas, a person who has no idea about what the hell is going on, but also tries to become more human just like Roxas did with Axel. Now here's the problem. Xion is actually a real puppet made by Vaxen, the science guy from the organization, which means that it is physically impossible for Xion to gain feelings like Roxas. After Xion realizes that something is different with her, compared to Axel and Roxas, she decides to search for the answers herself. Axel lets her go, which is not something Roxas supports, followed by asking him why he did that. Axel then tells Roxas that Xion is just a puppet, which Roxas naturally won't agree with. This makes a lot of sense if you view it from Roxas' viewpoint and emphasize with him. He himself is a being that is not considered to be complete, so the way he acts is a very natural reaction, especially when he heard it from his first and currently only friend. After that, there is a fairly iconic scene in the Kingdom Hearts series in which Roxas leaves the world the Organization 13 inhabits. Axel tells him that the whole organization would destroy him if he betrays them, to which Roxas answers, "No one would miss me." Everyone who didn't pay attention thinks that the scene was put there for some melodramatic reasons. But since you watched this video, you know that Roxas provokes Axel specifically. Since he doesn't care about Xion, he also wouldn't care about him, substantiating that point with "no one would miss me." So Roxas is basically saying, I am the same as Xion, you say she's a puppet and you don't care about her, therefore I am a puppet and you don't care about me, because I view myself on the same moral ground as Xion. After he left the organization, he finds Xion, who tells him that this is something she finds to accept and brings Sora back. This is a parallel to Roxas, who didn't accept his destiny as a nobody and reveals the sorrow that Roxas will live through for the duration of the next games. So Roxas wants to set Kingdom Hearts free and destroy the plans of the organization, but then Riku shows up and says, "Dude, how about not being alive because my own friend is currently sleeping and I need your memories inside him," so they have a fight. Unfortunately for Roxas, Riku uses his dog power from Ansem, who is the main enemy for the first game and connected with Riku. Then he takes his body to Diz. The only thing you need to know about him in the context of this video is the fact that he's practically a racist against nobodies and a computer genius. This builds a whole simulated world that replicates Twilight Town, the best world in Kingdom Hearts by the way, and Roxas' hometown, while he uses Naminé, Kairi's real nobody, because as we know Xion was just a puppet, pay attention guys, this is Kingdom Hearts, to regain Sora's memory out of Roxas. This is the whole start of Kingdom Hearts 2, and actually shows that Roxas can make friends with the people in Twilight Town. It's like a confirmation that no, he isn't just a nobody who thinks he has friends because it is useful to know Axel, since they were in the same organization. Roxas can be in a friendship without any objective gain, but just sheer emotions telling us that he's a special nobody who can grow a heart. which is honestly bad writing, because you retcon Roxas having a heart because he is special for some reason, but this one bad element in the story will expand to greater ones, so I oversee it as a necessity. No character is perfect after all. While Roxas lives his life, strange things occur in fake Twilight Town. The organization sends Axel and lesser nobodies to get him back. Multiple times throughout the start of Kingdom Hearts 2, Axel attacks Roxas while being saddened about the fact that he doesn't remember their friendship. Which is heartbreaking but also kinda ironic, since Axel also doesn't remember Xion anymore. And then we have like the saddest scene in video games like ever right here.
It's funny. Suddenly I feel like I don't know myself at all. I guess I would like to know. What do you know about me that I don't?
You were never supposed to exist, Roxas.
Imagine someone telling you that you're a being who isn't the laws of the universe you're inhabiting, someone that doesn't really deserve to exist, by a person you believe has more knowledge than you because she has pictures of your dreams plastered on the walls of her room. Then you fight Axel again with 2 Keyblades, which makes no sense at all since you didn't join back with Sora, but the gameplay is really juicy. Roxas sees Sora, his true self in the pod that he was sleeping in because of events from the Chain of Memories game, and comes to the conclusion that this is his fate and accepts it, which brings Sora back. He already came a really long way, from a boy who was born with confusion to being picked up by a mysterious organization that gave him a home, sense and purpose, until it all falls apart, becoming a man who accepts his fate and generously lets his true self live again. I think the necessity of Roxas' tutorial is because you really need to live through the experiences that Roxas had. You know, living a normal life with your friends until realizing that this is not even your real life and you shouldn't even exist. I think it gives the scene more power. But there's more. Roxas will appear at the end, fighting against Sora in his own heart, asking him why the world chose him to live. Why wasn't he the true one? Why couldn't he be with his friends? Then he realized that Sora has his own allies and friends that he wants to live with, and strictly stealing that from him would just accumulate to the same amount of pain that Roxas felt. Then he comes back as a ghost? With Namine? Yeah, Nomura, how about no? Well, we're done with this game. We almost made it, boys. Let's go to Dream Drop Distance. In which Roxas basically just says, bro, it's okay. Then Sora says something like, nah man, it's not okay, sorry for the shit I did, bro. And then Roxas is like, well, okay, bro. Next game, because Dream Drop Distance is like one of the worst Kingdom Hearts games. Kingdom Hearts 3. The quality of writing is actually pretty okay for Roxas. I mean, it doesn't mean much if you compare it to the quality of other really bad characters in that game, and that really doesn't help the game overall. But because the plan to give him his own body and use the heart that he grew over the course of the series makes sense and was established from the beginning, means that his character at least is on a standard level. And that's it. That's the reason why I think he's the best character. It's a really tragic story that only Kingdom Hearts could tell. The existence of a being who doesn't deserve to exist raises many philosophical questions that were addressed in the game. Maybe not to the extent in which I would have liked it, but enough to show the great potential that weird writing has in media. It can spark ideas that may be not the best when you look at them without giving it more thought, but really interesting once you really dig deep into the philosophical questions. Yeah, I would have liked it more if he just vanished forever, honestly. Would have been a nice tragic ending. I could have ended this video with like a sad piano, making it more impressive. But nope, none of Papa Nomura has his feather in the ink. No characters dying in Kingdom Hearts, not even in the war. Well, okay. So yeah, this is the end card thingy. You can use the common features here on YouTube to help me grow. I have music on Bandcamp and a Twitter. There is like a link to Discord that you can join. We can talk about stuff if you want, or not. Have a nice day. I'll see you next week.